This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are continuing to talk about Kings and Convicts as Nick took a trip up there with a stop at Ravinia for some more beer and tacos. And we talk about trips to Marz Brewing and Midwest Coast. All that and more on this week's episode. Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
Should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski,
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
and we are getting hazy.
Feeling all right, man.
Yeah, not bad.
Attack of the Hazeoids here from Marz Brewing. One of Brad's stops this week, man.
Yeah, we'll get into it in just a minute here, but yeah, this beer is tasty. I did not have it when I was there, but I saw it on the menu, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty fun. And then the cans look even better than the beer sounded.
For sure. Yeah. I like just about everything I have from these guys. Yeah, there's not a heaviness there that you would associate with this style. Yeah, it's a very pleasant play on both. It's dry, it's sweet, but there's an herbalness to it that just kind of keeps everything in order.
Yeah, I got to go back there this coming weekend, so we might be drinking more $25 4-packs next week. I think it's probably like 17, but
yeah, it feels like 25.
Yeah, it feels like the time I get down there, I have a beer, I have to buy other things. They had some nice pins, like their little pins, like emerald pins in their gift shop.
Like pins that you stick on your clothes. Oh, right on.
They look kind of nice.
I'd rock a Marz pin.
Yeah.
Their logo kind of looks a little Google Mail-ish, right? You see, what I'm talking about, that kind of M. Yeah, their artwork's fun though. Yeah,
Maeve, there was cans of Maplewood at the grocery store. And she's like, "Oh, weren't you just there?" Because of the logo, the M and the M are if you're not in it real deep, they just look
from a distance, at a glance.
Yeah.
Very sharp, triangular edges on both, right?
Yeah, and they're both making that haze.
And also that, yeah.
But I'm digging this 8%. Double dry hopped IPA.
Right on.
Tasty. So
Marz Community Brewing down in Bridgeport, Chicago. This 8% right here, by the way.
Yeah, let's get into our past week. And yeah, one of the stops was Marz. They had a little art show happening there, which I didn't go because of that. I went just to go to Marz, but that was nice. The place was packed. It was full to the brim. I was lucky I found a spot at the bar. I had a beer, whatever. I took a picture and put on Instagram. And it was happening. DJ was spinning. I don't know.
It's a fun scene, man. I like you walk up a few steps, and then that bar takes up the center of the room, and then you kind of look over at the back. There's a back glass window, and you kind of overlook the brew house a little bit, I want to say, right? Yeah. Then I got that arcade room off to the side and the gift shop off to the side.
I was like, what? Where are these people coming from?
Because it's on the most random side street. It's there used to be a trolley that runs down this street. There are no other public businesses, right? It's factories or whatever.
Yeah.
It's an odd scene. It's different.
Pilsen is close, but not any reason why you would go to Pilsen and be like, oh, let's go to Marz.
I mean, it's right. Whatever south of Pilsen.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. McKinley Park?
Bridgeport.
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry. Bridgeport, yeah.
So that was a cool little stop, and I'll be back there next weekend because I got to get a gift card, and they were out of gift cards, and so they were like, you can call. I was like, I'm going to call, and you fools are going to say, yeah, we have gift cards. It's I know you have gift cards. Go to the back.
Where are the gift cards, bro? Sorry, bro. We got these pins, though.
How? That was one of my stops, but you were across town while I was over there.
Yeah, man. I was out yonder, man. So The company I work for is based in the North Burbs.
Mm-hmm.
So we did some volunteer thing in Lake Bluff, Illinois.
Okay.
And, we're at Silo Pizza. They're telling me it's deep dish the whole time. It's not.
Isn't there a Lake Bluff Brewing?
And there's a Lake Bluff Brewing.
Okay.
Right. So I think we
That's a
volunteered
mouthful.
at, Bernie's Book Bank. We're, bagging books for kids.
Bagging books at Bernie's Book
At
Bank
Bernie's
in,
Book Bank
in
Lake Bluff. Yeah, this is how I'm spending my day. We go to the Silo. It's a local pizza joint. And we're reading the Kings and Convicts article. And if somebody's like, Highwood, isn't that right there? I'm like, oh, shit, you're right. It is right there. And I'm like, out of everything I've read, no one actually went to Highwood and see what the hell's going on. So I'm like, well,
This is in response to last week. It was kind of breaking news that Kings and Convict bought Ballast Point.
Right. So we know a lot more about them now. Then we said that that's what this would lead to.
Yeah.
We'll find out who these guys are. Apparently, the new company's called the new LLC is let me make sure I got this right. Oh, Kings and Convicts, BP.
BP?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ballast Point.
Yeah. Kings and Convicts BP LLC is the new company.
That's a little confusing. There's already BP, the company.
Yeah, there's the gas station, right?
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So I scooted over to Highwood, which is, it's all North Shore.
Have we? We didn't hear how much they paid yet.
No. The assumption is since Ballast Point is a public company, that'll probably be available Q1 next year.
Right.
Right. But we don't know.
The the most recent, or the last number I heard was 60 million.
Yeah.
A billion to 60?
I've heard as low as 17 mil. They were just looking to get rid of it. I think that the trademark value of Ballast Point just took a nosedive.
That was somebody who was just drunk with somebody else or on a golf course. And
Yeah.
we got to offload this at 17 million.
Yeah, fuck
so
it.
I was like, I'll do it. Let's
Done.
try it out.
And speaking of golf courses, and it's actually like there's a golf simulator on site at Kings and Convicts. These cats are all rocking like the, Pebble Beach golf, the 3/4 zip up.
This deal went down in a back room or it was facilitated somewhere that everyone wasn't included in this conversation.
They start a mad scramble for 2 weeks to look through the books and consult with lawyers, and they say, "Fuck it, we're pulling the trigger on this." It's a bunch of wealthy cats that worked together in the past and wanted to work on a project together.
Yeah.
Yeah. The former CFO of the wine group, which apparently owns Cupcake Wines and Franzia.
This reminds me of, do you remember, this was years ago, we talked about that story about those 3 rich guys that bought a winery or had a wine, and they had a tree house. It was in a tree house in wine country in California.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember this story? It was
Treehouse Wine in Cali. What are you talking
it was just 3 bros that
about?
just had a bunch of money, and they're like, we like wine, and basically started a wine company. And
This isn't a whole lot different from that.
yeah, so
You
that
know?
I don't know where that is, so I should look that up. I
Yeah,
thought we talked about that, but it would have been way in the beginning of
Yeah.
Chicago Beer Pass.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, no, I don't know what the fuck Brad's talking about right now.
We was up 3 bros, friends, winery, California.
So this was a group of 4 bros that expanded to 6 to pull off this. This is the story of the year. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
Right.
a couple more mil. So 6 would make me believe that it'd be 10 million each. So
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
That probably.
So the original. All right. So let's slow down. The original Kings and Convicts guys.
Yeah.
One's an Aussie. One's a Brit. Right. So one of those guys is the brewmaster, and the other one's the COO.
Okay.
Brewmaster CEO. The other one's the COO. One of them used to run some hotel chain called Boomerang.
Okay.
He got out of that, and he's a partner.
That sounds like the Australian guy.
Yeah.
Boomer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Boomerang. Yeah, man. So it's a trip, man. So you go up to this place. You've been there.
Yeah.
You walk through the door. There's a golf simulator to the left. There's some stairs in the middle, and there's a brewery to the right, or a tap room to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tap room has 5 tables.
It's no bigger. Loose Keys is bigger than this place. Yeah. It's a wild thing.
There's some outdoor seating though.
There's some outdoor seating.
That's kind of nice, but
Yeah. So we're talking 30 miles north of the city, and their top selling beer is King's Bitch, which apparently is what the Englishman calls the Aussie. You're the King's Bitch, and it refers to I didn't know this, but apparently in England they send a lot of their criminals down to Australia, And that's where the Kings and Convicts thing comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that street, like going to Kings and Convicts, if that's Highwood, that's kind of nice. It seems like a nice small town, and then Kings and Convicts isn't even on the main street.
No, it's like behind Main Street.
Because you're like, if you go down there when we were biking up there, I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. And people I was with, they're like, oh, it's got to be like right here. I was like, no, it's a little farther and like behind everything.
I've been to the Promiscuous there, and I didn't realize that it was like walking distance from Promiscuous. I didn't know that. I think Promiscuous was just on the radar because I didn't know, like, well, I got a buddy that lives in Highland Park, and he didn't want to go home. So I'm like, well, shit, I want to see this Promiscuous.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that there was a brewery right behind Promiscuous, which is basically right behind it. Yeah. So this is the trip, man. So I forgot where I was going with this, man. Oh, but we know a lot more about them, right? They are the wine guy, who's one of the partners they brought in. He owns like the majority of the company, I think.
Okay.
Like 24%, right? And then those other two cats own 40%, the original cats. And they went and bought Ballast Point. Oh, so I'm at the bar,
But you had to go because you're like, someone's got to do the hard hitting reporting.
I'm like, I need to know what the fuck's going
drink
on
this
here.
beer.
Let's at least talk to the staff and see what they know. Let's at least see this joint, And we had no idea that the owners would roll in, but the Ballast Point retail team was in town, and they were going to have a meeting with those guys. So like, well, we're going to stop into the tap room and have a beer first. So these two guys roll in, Brendan and Chris, the guys who made the deal. And I'm like, so what's up, man? He's like, yeah, things are good. He said two breweries let him know that day that they were for sale, and one of them was big. He said he wouldn't give me any detail. One of them's big, but everyone's offering.
No details on Illinois or just
two local breweries. Two local breweries said, hey, I'm for sale, just so you know.
They're probably like, get me the fuck out of this game. There is no money in this.
Dude, it's so competitive. First thing you think when you have beers from these Kings and Convicts is, how are you going to leverage the 20 years of Ballast Point experience to maybe enhance what's going on at Kings and Convicts, right?
Yeah, not that the beers that they have are bad. They're a little boring.
Yeah.
So maybe they could use some of that just to like improve those beers a little bit. Like, they are good homewood beers or highwood beers.
Yeah, bridge the gap.
Yeah, they're not good national beers.
Right, and it sounds like they're prepping Kings and Convicts for the international stage. But my first question to, I believe his name was Chris Waters. I'm like, hey, man, he's a brewmaster. I'm like, what's up? Are you going to take over the downtown Ballast Point location and just convert it to a Kings and Convicts satellite brewery? He's like, no way. We're going to spend our efforts really just getting salespeople to push the Ballast Point brand and do our best to bring it back to life.
Because it's better name than Kings and Convicts, like reputation wise. People know it, they trust it. You can't put a new beer in the place of Ballast Point, and people are like, I don't know, why would I get this over Ballast Point? And then,
but then I saw the photo you were talking about, and they're really jacked about this 48,000 square foot facility.
Yeah, they've been jacked since like day one since they opened.
So 2 years ago. Yeah. So it sounds like they're calling it the largest brewery in between, which isn't hard to do, I don't think, but the largest brewery in between Chicago and Milwaukee. So that space where Chicago ends and Milwaukee before you hit Milwaukee.
Do you think Finch was one of the breweries that said they were for sale?
Man, what is Finch doing these days? They don't have a tap room. That's for goddamn sure.
Trying to get someone to buy them.
They're like, we gave Like Minds too much money. Oh, yeah.
Did you let him know we were for sale?
Yeah, Chicago Beer Pass is for sale if you guys are interested. He's like, who?
Oh.
I'm like, just let me take the picture. Fine. You're going to act like you don't know who we are? Then fine, just let me take the picture. The guy who owns the wine group, I don't know if we talked about this. The guy who owns the wine group is responsible for Cupcake Wines and Franzia Wines, which Franzia calls themselves the world's most popular wine. That's the box wine.
Right, the box wine of champions. I don't know.
But first time I ever got
This is the breakfast box wine.
I remember White Zinfandel And that's the first time I think I ever caught an actual buzz. It was off some box wine.
Yeah, there is.
We all have a box wine relationship.
Probably, I would say 50% of people, their mom probably has a thing of Franzia in their fridge right now, or in the like beer fridge in the garage. There's a box of Franzia.
Yeah, man. We talked about so the two Ballast Point breweries, one's in San Diego, one's in Virginia. Virginia is not in the deal because that's the brewery that Constellation Brands helped them build.
Oh, okay.
So Constellation Brands like, listen, we're selling it, but we're keeping this brand new brewery. Yeah. This is in Daleville, Virginia, wherever that is. So they were on pace to do 2.5 million barrels out of Virginia. And then they closed it prematurely because we talked about this, I think, after the last show, how Constellation Brands owns Modelo and Corona, the rights to sell those beers here.
Yeah.
And how they probably evaluated Ballast Point at $1 billion because they saw the trajectory, the way they would view it, the way they were viewing their own Mexican portfolio. Mm-hmm. They viewed Ballast Point's potential in a very similar way, so it was clearly overvalued, right? And I think that's how we got to $1 billion. But the reality is it was probably worth more like $200-300 million when it's sold. So this fall from grace shouldn't really be that surprising, even though it is very staggering.
I hope the Ballast Point people, like the original people that got that $1 billion, I hope they took that money and ran, and they are like enjoying life. Like they built that company, got this stupid Constellation Brands to buy it and pay them that. I hope they're like chilling on the beach, like just enjoying life right now and laughing their ass off.
That's the biggest. I mean,
I don't know.
It's literally the biggest craft sale of all time. It's got to be. Who else sold for $1 billion? You know, Lagunitas low key sold half their company for $500 million, and then 2 years later sold the other half for $500 million.
Yeah.
So I have similar, but all at one time. That's the biggest sale ever, probably for craft. Yeah. So it was fun to get up there. They have no plans on leveraging Ballast Point to sell right now.
Kings and Convicts.
Sell Kings and Convicts beers. This is all full frontal Kings and Convicts pushing the Ballast Point brand.
It's even more confusing then. Like,
this is the one, and this don't even make sense. But if you what I saw was that Constellation Brands is a $9 billion company, right? Oh, but this the wine group, who the CFO now is the main owner of this new group, Kings and Convicts BP. The wine group was worth like $60 million, right?
okay.
The wine group's biggest competition, they consider one of their main competitors to be Constellation Brands.
Okay.
They sell, they all sell the same kind of products.
Yeah.
So he bought a brand from one of his former competitors.
So that's how he saw it. Maybe he was like sticking it to him, like.
But it sounds like they were friends anyway. Like, so these guys, one of the guys, he lived in Lake Forest for 15 years, and they were all friends. They were friends. They mentored each other, kind of thing. So it sounded more like that. Like, hey, these guys have been friends since the early 2000s, and they worked on projects before. And when this opportunity came up, they wanted to do something else.
Okay.
Right? That's what it sounds like. So, yeah.
I don't. Still, it's stupid. That's all I got. Like, it's really silly. Constellation Brand $9 billion, and they bought that company for $1 billion. And what they think was going to happen? You're going to have you got two groups of people that are going to drink more. You have Chinese and Indians. So you're going to buy Ballast Point and convince those two groups to drink like you. Like, they're not going to get more.
You're going to breathe life into. All right, so
you weren't going to get more people in the United States to drink Ballast Point.
Yeah,
no way.
The one advantage they have is that they're in 50 states already, Ballast Point.
Yeah.
And then they're international already. So you're going to breathe life into Ballast Point by basically just hiring salespeople to focus on selling Ballast Point beer again.
Well, yeah, again, I was just like, the $1 billion original is like, what were you guys smoking? This was even before you had Canopy. Like,
cannabis?
Yeah.
They, and I feel kind of, I don't feel bad, but it's an interesting story, man. Like this, this facility in Virginia, they got 1.4 in tax incentives from the county They got like another $650K in grants. They got something called a Commonwealth Opportunity Fund grant for $2.5 million. So the state and the county pushed all this money into this industrial size facility in Virginia, and then 2 years in they closed it.
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
Because no one was going to it. It was like they cite like low volume or something like that. Like
competition in the craft space, and then it's difficult for national and regional brands to sell beer locally, right? Like if you're stuck, right? Like if you're at that Bell's, Founders, Green, Flash, Ballast Point level, like people would rather pursue a local alternative,
right?
You know, like local to us would be,
Goose.
Yeah, and then if we in our extended local would be like, a Microphone or Three Floyds, right? But Ballast Point's the last thing on our radar, right? For an extended metro region, like if you're not from that extended region, like you're not really playing in that space.
Is Ballast Point local now? Does it count? I guess it was always like the stuff brewed at the tap room here was local.
Yeah.
But is it a local brewery now?
Technically, well, the new company is going to be based in San Diego, just like Ballast Point was. But they will have a local presence through the brew pub. But Kings and Convicts, the parent company, is local. If you consider Highwood to be local,
I guess.
right?
Does it take longer to get to Highwood than Josh Riley's place?
Oh, and down at Kankakee?
Barrington? No, that's not Barrington.
No, Barrington's up north.
I can't remember the name of it.
Down in Kankakee?
Yeah.
That's interesting, right?
It could be the same, especially with traffic that up north. Yeah.
Yeah. So had to go check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, so the new facility in Pleasant Prairie, 48,000 square feet, hotel, golf simulator, new brewery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someday.
Someday.
They spent all their money. There's no way. Why would you open up a bigger?
This is weird.
Kings and Convict now. You just spent at least
You spent somewhere between 17 mil and 100 mil.
17 mil and a billion. Somewhere between that. So why would you open a bigger Kings and Convict?
Our friends in Argus had a similar problem, right? Where they got deep pockets and they ran 10 years, and they hired a guy in the beginning who he had a ton of JBF medals, but by the time he got to Argus, he didn't really focus on making world-class beer at Argus, right? Even though he had the resources and the capital to do and the skill set to do exactly that, and he did not, right?
Yeah.
It didn't get right until they got rid of him and they brought in Mary Pelletier, right?
But then we watched Beta Brow run through money too, and not being able to do it.
They hired a brewer from Lagunitas and then never made an IPA at all. They stuck to their guns with a bit of unmodern German beer hall, right? And then they had to auction the joint off at the end of the day. When you get people who don't, all right, so look at Haymarket, right? And you know how Pete Crowley created Fobab. Pete Crowley's a central part of what they're doing from day one.
Yeah.
Or Josh Deeth at Revolution. The people who have the money and the people who make the beer have to really be in step. And,
Right.
the person making the beer or close to the beer has to really be close to the dude with the money, or it doesn't work. If you're just two dudes that have money and then beer's kind of a secondary thing for you, no, one of the dudes that's in the that is central to it has to really be a beer dude for this shit to work. And that's what we're seeing, right? Like these guys, you lived in Lake Forest for 15 years before this project, beer's probably not your main thing.
Right.
And one of the dudes that's in the middle of this beer has to be their main thing.
I believe that they can make Ballast Point a brand people kind of care about again.
Yeah.
But they can't make Kings and Convict a brand people care about. When this story broke, no one knew Kings and Convict was a brewery in Chicago land. And then again, we forgot that there's a Ballast Point in Chicago.
I think what pisses me off is that if you had these kind of resources to put up 17 mil, 60 mil to buy fucking Ballast Point, then Kings and Convicts, the finished product on Kings and Convicts should be completely different from what it is. That's the fucking annoying part. Completely fucking different. If you got that kind of cash.
Again, it's not bad. It's not anything that you want all the time. Like it's just not. It's not exciting. It's fine beer. I don't know any other like way to say it. Like it's not bad. It's fine. Like it's. I will have it, but I don't need it. Right? That's kind of. But that's also Ballast Point too. Ballast Point is. It's good for what it is, but I don't need it. I have a lot better options. I have Marz making one-off every freaking day. That's kind of, it's all the same. It's just a different name, but that's exciting.
So we'll see. Cheers to those guys for giving us a very cool story. Yeah. It reminded us all that Ballast Point sold for $1 billion. We almost forgot that until it sold again.
But then you had to go to Ravinia, right?
Oh man, shout out to Ravinia. They're I think I had the Steep Ravine IPA, and I was like, all right, like settling to my Friday now. This is delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to be said. Like, those two breweries are so close together.
Yeah.
Kings and Convict, it's good for what it is. And Ravinia is doing just a little bit better job making beers you want versus just beers you can drink. Yeah. That's right. Like, they're good. Or like, I will actually take some of this home. That's kind of how I see the two.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had Steep Ravine and Red Rooster.
Nice.
Which is their red wine barrel aged saison.
Okay.
Yeah. Had the tacos. Tacos were as advertised. It was quite nice.
Oh, that was your first time with them, right?
That was my first time. Yeah.
All right. Those shells.
I'm like, what's wrong with Brad? Brad's like hyping these fucking tacos. I'm like, Brad's been drinking. Brad's been riding for 30 miles. Brad's drunk.
I think the shells, they're not Oaxaca style, but I forget what they're called, but they're like the thick corn ones, and that's unique in the like taco game. It was legit. Like,
it was legit. It was house-made tacos, fucking fresh house-made tortillas. Quite nice. Yeah. The whole scene's nice. I like the they got the ceiling.
They have a ceiling.
First of all, they got a ceiling. Okay.
Plus.
It's not a bar. Okay. It's not a bar. It's just. Oh my God. The tiles. They got those really cool, like Chicago like style of architecture tiles on the ceiling,
like metal,
and then they they're like kind of decorative, and then they got scattered throughout it are these like glowing images of all their beers, which is kind of neat too. Yeah, really small, quaint place. I think they brew at Finch for now. I want to say,
right. We need to go to the new spot and see what's up.
Oh, because they might be brewing there for all we know.
I haven't heard anything from a while. They haven't tweeted at us in a bit.
Drunken Rooster. So I'm on some North Shore shit this whole time, right? Then I get back to the city. I was at Murphy's Bleachers. There was a toy drive. Yeah, I saw Afro Beer Chick there. And then we went to Packaged Pig in Evanston. Okay. Yeah, so I tell you, man, I hate to be the guy to tell you that Packaged Pig is good, but dude, like even when we went to Oak Park, and I had one of their offerings. Yeah. For the whatever they're calling the Replicale now, and every time I go there, I just dig everything about it. So and it's only noticeable for me because the first time I went, maybe 5 years ago, I hated that place. Okay. It's like I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys are just you guys got a lot of cash and you decided this was your little fucking hobby and whatever. Yeah. But now I'm like, dude, this place is good. This place is sneaky good. Yeah.
The day what was that? Sketchbook's little preview thing. Maeve and I almost went there to get some food because you've always talked about it, but it was so cold. Once we got in the car, we're like, we're not getting back out of this car. We're going home and ordering food. But we were like right there because you could do Sketchbook, Packaged Pig, Alarmist isn't that far,
a little further west,
but not too bad. And then Temperance and whatever that other
or
place
you stay east.
is.
And
What's
then,
the one with the purple line beer?
Oh yeah, Smiley Brothers. Yeah, Smiley Brothers. So yeah, if you're at Sketchbook, you could do Temperance, come down to Peckish, and then if you're coming back to the city, you could do you're either Spiteful and Balmoral,
Yeah, that's true.
and then now you're at Edgewater. Then after that, you're in Malt Row. But that's all I did, man. So cheers to Kings and Convicts, Ravinia, and Peckish Pig.
Nice.
That's all I did.
Cool. I did make a stop into Midwest Coast.
Right on. Our guy Cameron Compton.
I was like, it was strange that this place was packed because I went like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, who's coming over here? Like,
It's disconnected from the rest of the.
It was awesome to see. So I was like, I need to revisit this and see what's up.
Yeah.
2 people in here. So then there was 4 when me and a friend came in.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it's a slow night. I was like, it's Saturday. It was Saturday, and they closed at 10 or 9 on Saturday, which is pretty early for Saturday.
Yeah, for Saturday, yeah.
But yeah, there was no one there, so
It's so United Center's right there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then but outside of that, well, the Bulls and Hawks are gonna play there just about every day till like fucking.
But they weren't.
March.
They must not have been playing that night because they were playing. They had some other game on, like Nashville and New Jersey, I want to say.
Yeah, while Chicago Brewing District is, I don't know, it's just a half mile west of that stuff.
Yeah.
And Chicago Brewing District is like five or so breweries. This is disconnected in a way where when it's cold, you kind of have to make an effort to go to Midwest Brewing Company.
You can't. You're not walking over there.
Yeah, because you're barely walking from On Tour to Goose.
Yeah.
And when it's cold, you're like,
I'm like, where's
I'm going
scooters? Like, come on, bring those back.
Yeah, and then Finch is fucking around. They don't have a tap room.
Yeah.
What's up with Finch not having a tap room?
I was looking for someone to buy them and then like open up this tap room on the river.
They need to, Kings and Convicts needs to tell us who. I bet it was Finch. I bet it was Finch. They said, "Yo, we're for sale. We're done. We're fucking done.
Get us out of this.
Get us done.
Finally.
What do you think these boys are gonna? These boys are looking at it like we said last week. These boys are looking at people who buy beer at Target, people who buy beer at Jewel, and saying we are going to get in your face and make as much noise as we can, and you're gonna instead of buying some old bullshit.
Finch or Kings and Convicts?
Kings and Convicts.
Okay.
You're gonna start buying Ballast Point.
Yeah.
We're going after that crew, and then as soon as these sales get up, we're fucking selling this thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
think.
got to be the play, right?
And then we're going to take that money and finally build this thing we have in a picture. That everyone asks, where is that?
Pleasant Prairie, man.
But yeah, Midwest, they didn't have the Cashmere Pulaski beer on, whatever that one's called. But they had a couple others. I had a red ale.
They got a nice.
Like the
ESB.
beers are good.
Yeah.
The beers are good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're nice.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough when it's cold. Well, we just named like it's 70% of places.
Yeah, it was.
When it's cold.
It was Saturday. It was cold. There's nothing else around there, and the Hawks aren't playing. So, yeah, you're gonna have it's a tough spot.
Unless you live over there.
Yeah, and that's what I thought that previous time when I was like, why is this busy? Like it was. Seeing it empty was like, oh, that sucks.
It was dog friendly.
Yeah, seeing it busy was like, what? Like I thought there was somewhere in between that. So now I've seen it like completely empty on a Saturday and like packed on a Saturday. Like how do you plan for that?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. Those are a couple stops besides picking up these boys. I had to go twice.
Brad's pointing to the
Oh yeah, this is
Deep
gonna be a
Woods
podcast.
Deep Woods entry number 3.
I had to go twice because I went Friday.
Why didn't you just get it Friday?
Someone rented it out for a wedding.
Oh, that's right. Somebody got married on Friday.
And so I walked up to the door. They're like, we're closed. I was like, do I just go in and be like,
You were like,
I need to just get my beer? I was like, all right, I'll come back.
hey, congrats.
I was like, I'm here. Like,
You're like, I'm going to button all these buttons on this shirt, and then
I-
I'm going to just be like, I'm here for the thing.
if I'm too late, come back. Am I going to make it? I was like, that was what I was questioning.
The thought bubbles are over Brad's head. Like, what do I
Yeah.
do? Do I crash this fucking wedding, and do I just come back tomorrow?
Yeah, so I didn't. I went back on Sunday.
Okay.
And picked it up. So I got our boxes of the Rye Way to Heaven, VSOD, and Boss Jacket.
Right on. I saw, Whistle Pig makes a the Boss. It's they make a bunch. It's a series, the Whistle Pig Boss series. The Samurai Boss is a $600 bottle of fucking whiskey.
Oh shit!
Now, I don't know if that's definitely not this barrel, but
Okay.
one of their bottles is $600. It's like it's an ode to the guy who created koji and like this Japanese fermentation, and it's like, so it's finished in like Japanese liquor barrels.
But this isn't. This is just it's aged. It's a barley wine aged in bourbon barrels. So nothing with.
Yeah, it's straight. It's basically straight jacket, and it's in a certain kind of barrel. It's in a straight jacket in Whistle Pig's the Boss Hog barrel.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So where straight jacket might be like, straight jacket's clearly in a different barrel. Yeah. So.
Okay. So this is the. Is there a rhyme and reason to what gets released each time?
It's kind of confusing, right? Because the first series was the Deaths, Cafe, Death by Plums, and Death Star. Mm-hmm. But then VSOD comes out 2 releases later. And the last release was VSOR, which is the 2-year version of this release, Rye Way to Heaven.
Oh, so it would have been more fun to have Rye Way come out first and then the 2-year one come out second.
It's interesting. It's like, yeah, because it's like with this third release, we're revisiting, because Straight Jacket came out last time. So,
Right.
And so did a version of that. Actually, the version of all of these came out the last 2 times.
Right, because last time it was VSOJ.
VSOD.
No,
VSO
this is VSOD.
Oh.
VSOJ.
No, Straight Jacket came out last time because VSOJ didn't make it this year. Because VSOJ is 2 years, so VSOJ is not ready till next year.
What we have that wasn't. That's what we had? When we had it.
We had VSOR when he came over
VSOR.
with an uncarved version. Exactly, because it's the letters, all the letters,
Yeah.
the best letters.
VSOR. And
Yeah.
this is VSOD.
Yeah,
And yeah, Straight Jacket.
Boss Jacket.
Which came out last time, but no, Strawberry Jacket.
Yeah, you're right. Strawberry Jacket and Straight Jacket came out last time.
Yeah.
Strawberry Jacket, Straight Jacket, and
VSO.
VSOR.
Dark.
That was the last one. And then before that was the D's.
Yeah. But these get released to everyone else Friday.
Yes, that's why we said all that.
Confusing
fuck.
letters and names. Like, you can get these on Friday. They roughly run about $20 to $40 a pack,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So $30, you're probably gonna drop $100 if you want them all,
Yeah.
and probably a taste of something.
Yeah, and then they're doing one of the ones that caught my attention was VSOD on draft. They do draft only variants for the party. VSOD Cafe VSOD,
Oh, okay.
which is like a single barrel with like fresh dark matter added to it.
Cool.
Yeah, which should be cool. I will say this about that VSOD, like, these beers have those vibes of adjunct stouts with no adjuncts in them. Just a very natural interpretation of what a barrel and a beer should be doing together with nothing added, the packaged version. Cool. And that's very exciting because they take a lot of twists and turns from dry fruit to barrel to, to vanilla to just some weird turns.
Yeah.
And nothing's added, and that's the fun part. It's like you're actually pulling those flavors from the wood and the beer.
Nice.
So it's very cool. Very cool.
But these are, man, just like always, these are big beers. Highway to Heaven is 15.8%. What?
Well,
Rye
shit.
Way. Highway, no, Rye Way.
Did you say highway to
I
heaven?
said highway.
Yeah. So.
But that's Friday.
That is Friday.
Get there. I think I'm gonna swing by. I missed the last 2.
Yeah.
One I forgot about the last one, even though we talk about it. But I'm gonna go by after work because it's really not that far from the studio here.
Yeah. That's Friday at 4 p.m. Friday the 13th.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scary.
That'll be there.
Nice.
I'm excited about that. I think I'm gonna show up at that too.
Awesome. Sounds good.
What else is going on?
Thursday is Brew Lights or Zoo Lights.
Oh yeah, the 6th annual Brew Lights. This is at Lincoln Park Zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It may be slightly warmer. I think it'll be in the 30s. Last year it was, I want to say it was in the teens.
Oh, dude, Thursday, you're in luck, man. Thursday's gonna be 46, bud.
Oh, that's
good,
is
Brew.
good.
That's good Brew Lights weather right there.
Last year sucked so hard, and I biked there.
God damn.
From
That's hardcore, man.
Wicker Park, or from here even, and then to Wicker Park. It was so cold, and I was so mad that there's also lines for the beer. Like, you get there, and you gotta wait in the cold for your beer.
The So Cold, So Mad Festival of Lights.
46, that's what you want.
Oh, dude, you can't get better than that. That's like 75 on opening day, bud.
Yeah, I don't think we got invited this time. For
Yeah, what
our
the fuck?
complaints, my complaints last year.
So no Brew Lights for us,
But
man.
you've been to one, you've been to them all.
That's a fact.
They do not. It's a fun time, and it's neat to see that I don't make it to Lincoln Park Zoo.
It's the only time I
ever.
go.
Yeah, the beers are your average.
It's a Louis Glunn's production.
So they're not, they're not gonna have Right Way to Heaven.
Yeah.
Right? They're not gonna have anything super limited. They did have that Bourbon County thing last year going on. That line was ridiculous. Like, I am not waiting in the line for 20 degrees for, whatever Bourbon County release there was.
And I'm looking at their lineup, the 2019 lineup, and 5 of those are just, they're imports. That's where Glunn's wins. They have the strongest import category.
Oh, they were doing imports this time?
Yeah. So Delirium and Herder and Hofbrau and, Stella.
Oh, see, they're going.
What y'all got Stella at here for?
Last year, they didn't have those. They did all.
Stiegel.
They kind of stuck to all American brands last year. Like,
Also, I think last year, Lou Dog was involved. That's why you got the goose stuff. Because it's always a.
so there's no goose stuff this
I
time.
don't see any goose stuff here. Yeah, there's just 12 beers, and it looks like all Glunn's.
12
Beguile's on
what?
Glunn's, and so is Maplewood and Ravinia. They're on Glunn's.
Oh, okay.
Steep Ravine IPA is good.
But they had stuff from. Maybe it wasn't Glun's. Was it Glun's last year? Because they had stuff from, I want to say, Sweetwater, but they had goose beers, even that bullshit goose snow beer.
Trying to think of what the snow beer was.
Sucked. It sucks so hard.
It was a winter beer from
Yeah,
Goose?
it's a winter ale from Goose. It's like snow something. It's maybe their worst beer.
There's they have taproom stuff that they make at Goose, but then outside of the Sisters and BCS series and some of the taproom stuff, it takes a serious dive.
Yeah, those national Goose beers are. Whew.
They're taking an L. They're taking
What is
an L.
Ballast
with a lot
Point
of this
making
stuff.
these?
It's not the best look when you look at the the effort put into the storytelling and the sourcing of ingredients and the different types of bourbon counties that come out.
Yeah.
You look at that group of beers, and then you look at the other 12 months, and you're like, man, if we could only capture that and put it into our rest of our rotation, we'd be number one on the charts all year long, man.
Yeah,
but we don't.
It's like you're trying to pull one over on people. You hook them with the good stuff, and then you're like, hey.
And then if you want this Bourbon County, all the variants, you got to buy 100 cases of that 3-year vertical that we made.
Yeah.
Shit is real.
I did get
I
I do have a wheat wine from this year.
Oh, larceny barrels. Shout out to Heaven Hill.
Buddy, he gave it to me, so I didn't have to hunt for this, but I did. I was at Whole Foods and there was one bottle of the wheat wine on the shelf.
Wheat wine's delicious.
So
Really is. Tim Faith, who's used to be at what's that crew that does? They did Pilgrim's Dole, New Holland, which was the only other wheat wine I had, honestly.
Okay.
He was on the project that created the wheat wine this year. Right on. What were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about events this weekend. All right, so Brew Lights, and then the Deepwood series. Then we dive straight into Saturday. Man, the Holiday Pup Party. Holiday Pup party.
Holiday.
Holiday. This is Bulldog.
Oh, okay.
This is at Brew Yards. This is Saturday, the 14th. This is 1 to 5.
Okay.
So you can bring your dog, man, and bring him in him or her best ugly sweater, and you can take a picture with your dog, man.
Neat.
Yeah.
We gotta get them on and find out about this Sam Adams thing.
I'd like to know more about that because we talked briefly. I talked to Jerome at Fobab a little bit about it, and he was super excited. They're basically Sam Adams Brewery of the Year, where they won this award as like this rising star of small breweries, and they're gonna do a beer with Sam. And you know, I'd like to know more about that. And then I think they break the record once we hang out with them again.
Yeah.
Right? I think they've been on Beer Pass more times than anybody. Yeah, so that's this weekend.
Cool.
Cheers to 18th Street. They turned 6.
Really?
Just like that. 18th Street is 6 years old, man.
What?
So they're doing their 6th anniversary party. So this is a $40 ticket, and this is like, this is their big, badass annual event.
That makes me feel like kind of old in that, like, how are they 6 and what, Rev turned 10 this year?
Rev will be 10 next year. Yeah.
Like, they're just 3.5 years behind Rev?
Shit.
Really?
Yeah, when you say it
What?
like that, yeah, that's true. Tickets are $40. This gets you a 4-pack of 12-ounce cans of their barrel-aged coffee Russian Imperial Stout. It gets you a fancy cup, and it gets you 2 pours on draft. So they're going to do a bunch of guest drafts, New Oberfalls, basically all Indiana breweries, except for Pipeworks and Off Color.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's food, and there's 1, 2, 3 bands. Yeah. So this is
Nice.
This is a full-on party right here, man. Cheers to those guys. Man, you're right. That happened quick, dude.
6 years. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Any other events?
I think that's it for events, man.
All right. Any news before we get out of here? Nothing as crazy as Kings and Convict buying Ballast Point.
Yeah. Changing their entire company and actually taking a smaller percentage. And apparently 24.9 is the wine group's portion of the company. 24.9%. Because 25% owned by foreign interests means they're not craft anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah, very interesting story. There's a lot of layers to that story. And I'm very curious to see what they do with Ballast Point.
Yeah.
I'm also a little weirded out that if they got that kind of bread, that the Kings and Convicts beers didn't make a bigger impact in the market than they did. Let's just call it what it is, Brad. We're not here to fuck around with people.
Oh, yeah. We've had the beer. They're good. Stew's Brew is maybe one of the best.
Yeah, Stew's Brew. It has Stew's Brew and King's Bitch. So, oh yeah. But anyway, news. Paul Kahn, who owns Big Star.
Yeah.
And is responsible for modern Chicago classics like the Violet Hour, the Publican, Vec and Blackbird.
Yeah.
PQM. He is a culinary partner at Half Acre, so he's taking over the kitchen at Half Acre Balmoral, and they're going to be slaying tacos, Brad.
So, the tap room at Lincoln has burritos that they're still going to serve that aren't Publican based. What was happening at Balmoral? Were they like splitting focus and couldn't compete, or like people were?
They had a summer party where we were throwing bocce ball with Phil McFarland from formerly of Small Bar, who's over at and they had a showcase of their late summer fall menu, and there were some pizzas, and there was like some Asian inspired chili noodles, and I think there wasn't a lot of focus. It was just seasonal and locally sourced, right?
So
there wasn't a lot of focus on the menu, though. There's just like all sorts of things.
So they maybe, I saw this as we needed to focus on the beer, and the kitchen was getting in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
And the kitchen wasn't as exciting for people as the beer was at Balmoral. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'll change some of that.
That makes sense. I like Big Star. I don't need another $5 taco place. Like, I like that the Balmoral had different food. If I wanted to go to Big Star, I'd go to Big Star. I went to Half Acre for the beer, and I was like pleasantly surprised that they had food. Not, oh, you got Big Star. I didn't go. So I'm indifferent on this.
Yeah,
like,
Big Star's in the United Center.
They're next to Wrigley.
Yeah, there's a gigantic Big Star across the street from Wrigley. If you go to the original Big Star, the coolest part about it is that, well, they're playing country music on vinyl. You'll learn about some country. But then also, the margaritas are really good. And then they do a whiskey of the day. So you can experiment on whiskey at a cheap price and then do a beer.
But they're in United.
Notice we didn't name the fucking tacos as one of the three
Right,
top
but if
things.
they're in United Center, they're next to Wrigley and Wicker Park. They're really just the cool Chipotle. Like, not. Like,
Big Star tacos are not something to seek out. Big Star, the experience with the margaritas and the music and the whiskey, it's a very cool scene.
yeah.
Big Star tacos, as a thing that needs to be imported into a world-class brewery, that's a different conversation.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a different conversation. Like, it's fine. Is it rock and roll?
But maybe that was their, like, again, I wasn't going to Half Acre for any of the food. I was going because of the beer, and I might eat.
That's true.
So maybe they're like, just shut this shit down and have someone else deal with it because we're not selling enough food to make it worth our while.
Yeah, and when you look at them, I'm just assuming that once you get past Lagunitas and Goose and Rev, that Half Acre is the biggest brewery in town.
Yeah.
So when you look at, from a marketing standpoint, this is a big splash for them.
Yeah.
Right? This is basically them. Instead of buying a commercial, they brought in Big Star, which is their version
That's
of
what I think.
is their version of a holiday commercial. So it's cool. And then it gives us a chance to talk about Paul Kahn, who does a lot of cool shit in this town, aside from Big Star. Big Star is actually probably, like, not in the... Is it the coolest thing he does?
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
Is it
there's
cooler
also, not Dovetail.
Dove's Luncheonette.
That's pretty interesting. And then there's that, whatever that new stupid place is, the seafood place on the corner.
PST?
That was,
Pacific Standard Time?
is that what it's called? On the corner at Six Corners? Next to Big Star, Dove's Luncheonette.
The Valid Hour's right there. There's another thing. Oh, did he take over the
they
the
had-
Public and Anchor? Was the Public and Anchor
and then they
space?
changed the name. I still don't know what it is. I go by it all the time. You have not spoken to me, so I have not gone in.
I went to the Publican at O'Hare
Yeah.
for the Texas trip, and I had an Orval in proper glassware.
Yeah.
That brought me all the feels. So
I haven't gone to the regular Publican in years.
I've actually never eaten there.
It's a fun time.
But cheers to Paul Kahn and that whole
Yeah.
new lineup. The good folks at Wild Onion in Barrington, they opened their third tap room. This is up in Rockford. This is above a bowling alley. Second floor of a bowling alley in Rockford.
Hopefully they don't have the same faith as the bowling alley in Lincoln Square that burned down that was upstairs. It was like,
Oh, shit.
wait, a brewery above the bowling alley?
It's a tap room.
Oh, just tap.
It's just like a satellite tap room. Kind of like the Oak Park thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Oh,
cheers,
yeah. So it's
cheers to them.
okay.
Yeah. Wanted to say this is related. Silicon Valley, man, the show on HBO. The last episode ever last week.
That was you caught up? You watched that?
I'm all caught up.
So you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. It was decent. Bill Gates is in it. You know, we like tech stuff, so we like the show. It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, what I really like the show is because they drank a lot of real beer in that show.
They do.
So Guilfoyle is all about fucking old Rasputin. Monica, she's all about the old stock ale from the North Coast. I've seen Planet of the Elder in that show. They drink a lot of real beer in that show. And I was watching. What was I watching? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from Quentin Tarantino, the movie.
Yeah.
And they were drinking a brand called Old Chattanooga beer. And I looked that up, and I'm like, that's a fake brewery that they don't actually make. It's like a prop beer from movies.
Okay.
I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder, and they're drinking something called Heisler's Golden Ale, which is also a fake. It's also a fake beer. So most of the movies and TV shows you see, they don't want to really pay, so they come up with these fake brands. And the Heisler brand has actually been in 12 different shows, everything from Brooklyn Nine-Nine to what's the show with Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They've been around for 12 years. They've been in like 40 different sitcoms. This fake is a fake Golden Ale. Yeah, Independent Studios Services made that beer for TV, which I didn't know was a thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I saw that, and I saw old Chattanooga in the movie, the Quentin Tarantino movie,
okay.
and it made me appreciate Silicon Valley more because they're drinking real beer in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cheers to those guys. 6 years on the HBO. They're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good run. And that does it for this episode of Chicago Beer Pass. Make it to Deepwood Series. We should be hitting that up, so hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Then Nick, where can people find you, get in touch when we're not here or drinking at Rev?
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
I'm on Twitter at BRAD, Chicago Beer Pass, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, website chicagobeerpass.com. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Take care.
Cheers.